How's it going, fellas? And I'm back with a brand new video, and this video is going to be a little bit different. It's the same as my old ones of how to shoot and how to play with NBA players in 2K17, but I'm going to be taking my knowledge and skills to the park. And Mypark, with the Archetype system in the game now, it does take skill to be a player of that archetype. So over the next few videos I'm going to be talking and explaining how to use and how to play certain archetypes, and in today's video we're going to be doing the slasher. I'm a sharpshooter, but I really wish I chose the slasher because I really do like cutting to the basket and asserting my dominance, just slamming on people and posterizing people and just having my way with them off the ball, because off the ball slashers are absolutely deadly in 2K17. They've been deadly in all 2Ks, just being slashing to the basket, and if you can use it effectively, you'll be unstoppable on the Mypark. Okay, first things first, I want to talk about defense, and the biggest thing that you need to do with a slasher is stay in between him and the rim, because you do not want a slasher getting behind you and cutting to the basket, because it is a basket every time, and if you get too close to them you will let them slide past. So you need to use the key as sort of a guide and just stay just outside the key holding L2, just so players, you've got enough time to react for when they're cutting to the basket, because if you're on them, if they cut to the basket while you're standing on top of them, you've got no chance. If they've got any form of speed, you've got no chance of stopping them. So you've got to stay back a few steps and just use the key as an outline. Let them shoot if you have to. Don't be scared to let the guys shoot, because slashers can't shoot. Remember that. Like, you don't have to be in their face for them to shoot a three-pointer, because 9 out of 10 times they're not going to get it. Yeah, if you get a real good slasher, might make three or four shots, maybe, but just let them shoot. If they're a good shooter, slasher shooter, you can play a bit better defense, but you don't really have to against the slashers. Let them shoot. Now, this next little tip will help you a lot, guys. So when you're off the ball, hold L2. Because if you get in the way of a person cutting to the basket, you will get bump animations. You won't get these bump animations unless you hold L2. When you don't get the bump animation, it just gives the opposition an easy stroll past you, so they can either cut to the basket or cut to the other side for a corner three. Hold L2, because you will get that bump animation and you can force them into the direction you want them to run. So it allows you to contain them. If you're watching this video, I do it a few times where I just allow him to run into me and get the bump animation, and he can't run on his path directly into the basket or out, as I said before, to the corner three. So it just restricts them a hell of a lot. Make them play to your play style. Don't let them dictate the pace. You dictate the pace. That's what defense is about. You can't allow them just to run all over you and walk all over you. You've got to play smart defense, and this is off the ball defense is a big thing in Mypark. You can't underestimate, just because your guy doesn't have the ball means you can slack off, because it is the biggest reason why teams don't win consistently, is because the off-ball defense isn't up to standard. Well, that's enough about defense. Let's move on to offense. And everybody likes to be the guy that scores 15 points in park and things like that. Don't be a hero with the slasher and try and dunk over 4 or 5, oh, not 4 or 5, but in park, but 3 people or 2 people. Like, it is just frustrating. Players will just, oh, I've got a slasher, so that means I can dunk on 3 people and just do what I want. That's not the case, guys. You can't just do what you want in this game. There is restrictions in the archetypes, and it's no different with the slasher. You can't, just because you've got a bit of a run-up doesn't mean you can dunk on 3 people. Please restrain from just dunking on 3 men and trying to get a posterizer. Like, it just doesn't happen. Well, this next thing isn't rocket science, but I've just got to say it. Always be looking to slash to the basket. And another thing when I say this is, just because you're a slasher, it doesn't mean you have to slash to the basket every single time, because if you hit the corner, you can get open. Don't shoot the 3, but pump fake, because the guy's going to run at you, and more than likely he's going to jump. But if he doesn't jump, if you hold directly down, you can always get past them. If you don't hold diagonal down or left into him, hold down and you will slide past him. If your slasher has a little bit of speed, like what the slashers need speed, but if he does, he'll be able to just hold down and he'll be able to get past the guy every single time. and it gives you an easy dunk, or even just an easy drive to the basket, and another guy has to rotate to cover you. Easy pump out or push out for free. It's as simple as that, guys. You just got to stick within your archetypes on offense. It's just so easy. Moving off the ball is the best thing for a slasher, because when you're off the ball, you need to move around with a slasher. If he has any speed, like I said before, he will just do damage to the opposition. Like, you've got to be able to see the space on the court and move to it. If there's open space, get to it with the slasher, because it will create chances for your team. But the last thing I want to talk about is just fast break points. You can really get it. Easy points. Just if you know a contested shot is up and you've got a big man, you can gain a lot of points by just running to the basket. If you know that your big man's in there, that he's going to get the rebound, it's easy points. Like, and it's the same when even the opposition scores a point. People jump around and do charge and flop on the ground and do backflips and all that shit. Just run to the basket. You're going to get points. As long as people have a half decent pass, they get it to you, and it's an easy slam. Anyway, fellas, I've talked and raved long enough. If you like these park videos, I'll be doing plenty more in the future with sharpshooters and glass cleaners and everything else, and leave in the comments below your tips or what you want to see next on this series. But other than that, if you like the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.